Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30, October 2nd, 2021. A much warmer day today, and you can tell here by this picture here this evening that the sky is a little bit hazy. Air quality definitely not as good as yesterday. We had some cirrus around in there in that picture. You see some altocumulus. So looking at the satellite image, you can see some more clouds starting to roll in across the area. We had these cirrus clouds throughout the day. You could see there they are right there, kind of affecting our area here. You can see there was still plenty of sunshine, but it was filtered at times by the cirrus, just not a nice blue sky like we had yesterday. Yes, that is Hurricane Sam, looking very formidable, I might add. You can see kind of how big it is when I kind of put it in perspective there with the whole East Coast. Look at that. Sam has become, it was a small compact storm, and now it is quite a large and still very powerful storm. And we're going to be talking about that in a moment. Let's first talk about our highs and lows, current conditions across the area. Dew points are starting to rise. I definitely felt a little more humidity out there. I've seen some dew points close to 60 degrees, temperatures in the mid-60s. As well, so not as cool as last night, still holding on to the low 70s in the city. Let's go now take a look at our highs and lows for the day. So first we start off with the lows this morning, and look at West Hampton again, 37 degrees in West Hampton. Again, that's quite impressive. But it won't be getting that cold tonight. And 40s again, 48 at Islip. So we saw that radiational cooling last night once again. But the city held on to the heat, 59 at LaGuardia. But still, even here in Mineola, it got cool. It got down to 45, as you can see there, looking at the map here. And looking at New Jersey, they probably had similar low. Yeah, 39 is actually, it was colder last night than it was the previous night. West of Toms River, it got down to 39 degrees, and there are Pine Barrens as well. The Pine Barrens are an excellent place for radiational cooling. Now let's go and look at that today's high temperatures. It was a lot warmer today. We had upper 70s, 75 at Islip, but 77 in Mineola. So everybody was pretty much in the mid-70s across the island today. Maybe some upper 70s toward the North Shore. South Shore a little cooler with low 70s. Though, again, that westerly flow, the sea breeze really wasn't that strong today with that west-southwesterly flow that we had throughout the day. As you see, we can look at Islip in a minute, and we'll show you how that west-southwest flow affected temperature. So 73 in Central Park, oddly enough, quite cool there. Let's look at New Jersey. A little warmer there, 77. Toms River, not a huge difference between New Jersey and Long Island, just a few degrees. Again, with that west-southwest flow, the air is pretty much coming from New Jersey right over onto Long Island. So we'll take a look at some observations out of Islip. We'll show you that west-southwest. Yeah, 64 with a dew point is 63 right now. So yeah, there definitely is an increase in the humidity out there. And you can see here, according to this map here, you see west-southwest winds throughout the day. So west-southwest started off the morning with a light north wind, and look, it was 48, and then it jumped to 55, 61, 60, and it really jumped up there quite a bit with that west to southwesterly flow, keeping things warm. No sea breeze over there at Islip. Not much of one anyway. So let's now talk about October and the monthly statistics for October. Let's get over to it right now. Islip's climate report for October we have for you. And our as far as our averages go, we're going to look at that right now. So where are they? Here we go. 77.2 was our average maximum in Islip. The normal is 74.8, so 2.4 degrees above normal. That average minimum 62. The normal is supposed to be 58.9. That is 3.1 degrees above normal. So when you look at the mean, which was 69.6, the normal is 66.9. That is 2.7 degrees above normal. We look at the precipitation. The precipitation was 5.22 inches. Didn't break the record, but it was well above what we're supposed to see, which is 3.60 inches. So a very wet month overall for Islip. Now we're going to go and look at Central Park. And Central Park for September, we have a average maximum of 76.6. The normal there is 76.2. So interesting, their departure from normal wasn't as high. 0.4 degrees. Average minimum 64 degrees. The normal is 62.3. So that's 1.7 degrees above normal. The mean 70.3. The normal is 69.2, so that's 1.1 degrees above normal. Precipitation, 10.03 inches. That is incredible. Normally, we're supposed to see 4.31 inches in Central Park. That's 5.72 inches above normal. So the departure was more than the actual normal rainfall for the month. But we still didn't break the record of 16.85 set back in 1882. So that record was not broken. However, we're going to look at a few more stations along the way because I think Newark did break theirs. So we're going to look at Newark next. And we are going to see they're above normal again, about 3 degrees above normal for their 3.3 degrees above normal for their temperatures. Now, precipitation was set. They set a record. 10.50 was their total precipitation for the month. That is a record, a new record set at Newark Airport, and the normal is 3.82. So again, a record wet month, especially in New Jersey. But it goes to show you just what we were going through here with the rain. It was quite incredible. So we'll look at JFK just for one more and see if they broke their precipitation record. No, they did not break their precipitation record. Okay, so now let's get to the other thing going on, and that is Hurricane Sam. So let's now look at the latest from the Hurricane Center on Hurricane Sam. Victor now just a tropical depression. It is weakened. We're not even going to talk about that one. But let's talk about Sam, because it's still a formidable hurricane. The latest public advisory on Hurricane Sam as of 5 p.m. Sam is gradually losing strength but growing in size. As of 5 p.m., its location is 35.4 north, 58.2 west, about 435 miles east-northeast of Bermuda, about 825 miles south-southwest of Cape Race, Newfoundland. Maximum sustained winds are 125 miles an hour, so I believe that's a Category 3. Moving northeast at 17 miles an hour. So it's getting picked up by the trough, but it's still holding on to its strength. Minimum sun suppression 950 millibars to 8.06 inches. So it's a Category 3 hurricane, and they say it could transition into a powerful post-tropical cyclone by Tuesday. And now Sam is a very large tropical cyclone. Remember how small it was? Well, now it's extremely large. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 70 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 240 miles from the center. The estimated minimum sun pressure, of course, is, we've talked about that already. But now that it's grown in size, it's going to have a bigger impact on the amount of water it can move around, and that's going to affect how we're going to be dealing with some high surf for tomorrow, I believe. So let's now go to the latest latest map. Obviously, you see where it's going. It's not going to bother anyone at all. It's out in the middle of the ocean. Not going to make a landfall in Newfoundland, fortunately. But it still looks like it might eventually wind up getting to Iceland, perhaps, as some kind of post-tropical storm. But very incredible nonetheless. Very incredible. And I wish we had some wave reports, but it's out in the middle of the ocean, so we don't really have any wave reports. But let's take a look at Sam on the satellite loop. So here's Sam on the satellite, and you can see it's definitely grown in size. We could also see it definitely looking a little more raggedy as it's dealing with more shear, as it's getting picked up and flung northeast by that trough right there, or should I say northeast. So you can definitely see it's definitely looking a lot more raggedy, but it's still pretty substantial. We're going to go ahead and look at Sam on this satellite. You can definitely see a lot less convection now. It is going to be moving on to cooler waters too. So it's going to start transitioning over to some kind of hybrid eventually once it gets further north. But it's still a storm you don't want to mess with, that's for sure. And again, I did not mean to close that, but again, we have to watch for these impacts as far as the waves go. If we look at the waves here, we'll use this model here. It's not Ventusky. Actually, we could probably use Ventusky for the waves. Let's show you the waves here. So you can see that there's some higher surf that's being generated. Obviously, way out in the middle of the ocean, this thing's really generating huge waves. And you can see how far they extend. But you'll start to see some of that brush shower area. So if we go and look at tomorrow here, you'll start to see some of the yellows It's not really going to have that huge of an impact, but you'll notice a small change. And the main thing is the rip currents, because the swells are changing the currents at the beaches. It's not like you're going to have that many great waves. I don't know. The surfers, I don't think you're going to have the kind of waves you had with the other storm that came close to us. But remember that storm? That was a lot closer, that storm, and that was the one that hit Newfoundland. That of course, the name escapes me. But because there's been so many storms this year, I can't remember all the names of them. But anyway, you can see the wave action's mainly going to be out in maybe Newfoundland will see a little more wave action, but for us, not really a huge amount of wave action at all. But again, quite incredible storm there, and like I said, it's out in the ocean, so it's not going to bother anyone. But again, there could be some strong waves. I can't believe I forgot the name of the storm that hit Newfoundland. I can't believe it. Let's just figure this Newfoundland hurricane. Larry. That was it. It was Larry. Large Larry. How could I forget? That's right. It was Large Larry that hit Newfoundland. Yes, Large Larry. I remember now. I can't believe we went from Larry to Sam. It seemed like just yesterday. That's what I mean. There's so many storms, it's just hard to remember them all, So let's go to the models now, and we are going to look at our weather as we head into next week. We'll start with the North American view and the jet stream. So we'll go there. We'll look at that. And you'll see here that trough is going to be pulling out, and we're going to have kind of a stalled frontal system. You see this cutoff low here, and that's going to help to cause a little stall front syndrome across our area this week. And the jet stream, unfortunately, goes up into Canada again, so that means unsettled weather and above normal temperatures. There's a trough on the west coast, but you see this jet stream just kind of looks kind of messy. Doesn't really start looking a little better as we get to the end of the month. Then we start seeing some troughs in the east again, but still a very wavy, very disorganized jet stream. Look at that huge ridge over Greenland. So that's concerning right there. But this is all part of what we deal with when we're dealing with Arctic amplification, is a weakening jet stream. As the Arctic warms, there's less energy. Gone over this a million times. Jet stream is fueled by the difference between the poles and the equator. So if the poles are warmer, there's less of a difference. The jet stream becomes wavier and weaker, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So let's now go to the National CONUS view, and we'll go ahead and start looking at the surface. And you'll see how this all translates to the surface. If you're looking for the kind of nice weather we had, well, I'm sorry. We'll have one more dry day tomorrow, and then Monday we're going to start dealing with the chances of showers. Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have a high that's going to try to build in and push the showers to the south, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to keep it clear, per se. But it looks like it'll try to keep it to the south. And it looks like it's trying to develop something again. And again, we're going to have to watch for this the start of next week, not the start of this week, the start of next week, for something possibly to form off the east coast. After that, we finally see a trough come down and start bringing in some cooler, drier air. But until then, we're going to be above normal with that kind of setup. Our temperatures are going to be above normal. If we look at the temperature anomaly chart, you'll see we're going to be in the red for a while. So here we are. So we're probably going to have, even though we had the cool weather in the beginning of October, right now this will definitely keep us, probably help give us another above normal month with temperature. And as far as precipitation goes, we may be a little bit above normal too. If we look at the total accumulated precip to the end of the period, you'll see it's going to be sort of wet again. So that's again with that tropical moisture around. That's what we're going to see. And if you look at the dew points, you'll see the dry air the dry air we were enjoying is going to be replaced by humidity. Though we will try to get some drier air down here, perhaps. At least keep the worst of the humidity away if that high builds. But you can see we're going to generally be dealing with humidity once again until we get to that cool blast again. That we'll have to wait until the middle of the month. So we have a lot of crappy weather to put up with, unfortunately. Paying the price for a couple of nice days. As we always do. We can't seem to get rid of this humidity, and that's, again, part of the new normal, so to speak, with the climate. So let's take a closer look. We'll go to the HRRR right now, and we'll look at the precipitation chances. So tomorrow will be dry. We won't deal with any rain tomorrow. But it is overnight, Monday morning, that we start seeing some showers move into the area, and then we'll have that threat of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm. Here you are Monday evening, and it looks like there's a pretty hefty looking of thunderstorms there possibly developing over New Jersey. We're going to have a better idea of how that's going to pan out tomorrow. But the general idea is we're going to be unsettled after that. So if I go to the NAM 12, I'll take this to the 18Z run. You'll see this unsettledness. Again, it's not really going to take us much further out. You'll see that unsettledness there. And then after that, though, it tries to have this high nose down, and that'll at least suppress the precipitation to the south. Now let's go over the temperatures, and I'll go to the GFS for that. So as we go into the temperatures for tomorrow, you'll see we're going to be well above normal. I think there's a shot that parts of Long Island are going to get to 80. Jersey, you're definitely going to be in the 80s. Tomorrow's going to be a very warm, summer-like day. There'll still be some sunshine around with a hazy, junky-looking sky. Mild night, and then Monday, it'll still be hot over Jersey, it looks like. Still Long Island, a little less hot, and then this backdoor tries to come through and bring in some cooler temperatures for Long Island. Maybe temperatures around 70, but then it looks like it does try to warm it back up again by Thursday again. So you can see that we're going to be above normal. We're going to be dealing with 70s for the most part. And it won't be all that dry either. So look at these dew points. You'll see the dew points already high. I wasn't expecting it to be this humid tonight. So it's saying it'll be dry tomorrow with lower dew points. I'm not necessarily buying that. I think we might have dew points in the 60s tomorrow. We'll have to see how that all pans out. But certainly by Monday, we'll feel that humidity come into the picture with dew points well into the 60s, southerly flow. And then we'll be dealing with those high dew points. Here's Tuesday. And then we try to see that backdoor front trying to push those dew points down a little bit into the 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe Thursday, before they start rising again by the weekend. But generally, it's a really crappy pattern to be in, especially for October. We're sick of this already. It's enough already. But this is what we continue to deal with thanks to the climate change. Again, these anomalous patterns due to the jet stream not being where it should be because of Arctic amplification. So we already went over that. We went over the temperatures. Now let's go over the skies. And probably going to be seeing lots of clouds around. This is the GFS showing those high clouds for tomorrow. You see lots of clouds. As far as getting a clear sky goes, GFS says no dice. Maybe if you're in New England on Friday, maybe. I know it's a ways off. Maybe that high will be a little stronger. We can look at the RGEM as well. So tomorrow there'll still be some sunshine, but there'll be a decent amount of high clouds filtering in. Contrails, haze, all that stuff. And then fairly cloudy conditions. Maybe a hazy break of sun Monday, later on Monday. Tuesday will be socked in with the clouds as well. So plenty of clouds. The days you're not going to see any blue skies for a while, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. Can look at, I think that's going to do it for the sky models. The next thing we can look at is the smoke. We'll look at this, and I definitely noticed it a little bit around it. You can see that it's definitely got some smoke over us, and I think we'll be seeing a little bit of that tomorrow. Nothing that dense, but it's just enough to make it a little hazy. You're not going to have that nice blue sky that we had the other day, that's for sure. You can see if you look at the MODIS, again, there is Sam. But you can see here, if you look at the MODIS, you see a little bit of that smoke right there. It's a crappy pattern that's evolving. Luckily, it's evolving. And luckily, we had the trough, and that'll help kick Sam out. Imagine if this thing were to make a beeline for our area, it would be a catastrophe. And one day, our number will be up, and it will happen. And it may happen this year. Well, the season is still not over yet. More storms could still form. So I'm going to wrap this weather update up. I want to thank you for watching. Take care, and have a good night.